Welcome to another episode of The Adventures of Danny and Mike, wherein the fellas discuss Ariana Gundam, being on the rail, and rolling a natural 20, with special guest Jake Paque. Now play the music, Yugi. The New York Football Giants were won in a poker game.
Wait, that can't be real.
They were won in a poker game in like 1920. I think they were starting 25. Yeah.
The Mara family won the Giants on a poker game.
Charlie something and Mara were partners.
Charlie Chip and Jimmy Gamble.
Yeah, Jimmy.
We're all hanging out with the Maras.
The original Jimmy G.
Yeah, the original Jimmy G.
Oh, you're talking about Richie Risky's best friend, right?
Richie Risky's best friend. Yeah, Jimmy Gamble's.
Parlay Bob.
And it was weird. His name was Jimmy Gamble, but everybody called him Gambles and pluralized
His
it.
nickname was Sure Thing.
I don't know why.
Until he died.
Yeah, he did die.
And,
he died a terrible death.
He
got run over by 27 horses.
Not a 20-sided die.
He even came out
but
in the pluses.
He was holding a 20-sided die when he got killed by the 27 horses.
He bet on his own death and made money.
Yeah, he cashed in. Paid for his funeral.
On the parlay, yeah.
Did pay for his funeral.
Got that casket upgrade. It was dope.
Well, speaking of the Giants and ownership, and what else were you talking about? I didn't catch a lot of that. Let's start the show. Welcome to Dennis's Danny and Mike. To my right, Mr. Danny Tamborelli.
Wow, you really sure know how to come in there as a great on-air producer.
And to his right, Mr. Michael C. Marona.
Thanks, Segway King.
And our guest for the entire hour. You may know him from things like Yu-Gi-Oh!, Pokemon series, and Apollo's Tall Tales.
That is a thing that I do, and for anybody keeping track at home, it's Jake Paque.
Paque.
Jake Paque.
Gosh.
I thought we talked about this last time.
I probably went the same way.
Really?
Yeah.
No.
I'm pretty sure. Jake
I think
Paque.
you just changed it before you got in here.
You know,
I knew that your name rhymed.
You decided to go in a
I didn't know
different...
that your name rhymed.
So you thought maybe I didn't know my own first name. Like, it could have been Jack Paque.
Jack Paque.
Yeah, like
Jack
maybe
Paque.
he's lying to us about his first name.
We do this all the time with the Van Wyck Expressway. Some people call it the Van Wyck. Some people call
Or
it
the
Van...
Vine Wyke.
Well, the
No
great
one
thing is
calls
that
it that.
we can just have a moment of silence, and I can say, Jake Paque. Oh, how do you say that?
You
Paque?
just did it right.
Jake Paque. Our special guest for the entire hour, Jake Paque.
Hey, thanks for having me.
See, and then no one's ever gonna know except for the Patreon people who see the whole video.
Oh.
Then they're gonna know I fucked it up, but I fuck them up all the time.
I'm really not angry right now.
We've been working together for
When we
years.
had Renee Zellweger on here, he really fucked that up.
It took us about 12 takes.
Tried to make her name rhyme as well.
Rennie Zellweger.
Well-Weggers and Elwegger.
The human head weighs.
I think he said Adele Dazeem.
Del Dazeem.
Del
Has she been
Dazeem.
in?
Yeah, she's been on the show 3 times. She's the longest running
I
guest.
forgot
She does
about-
Broadway a lot.
I
You know what
forgot
mean?
about Adele Dazeem.
Yeah.
That's funny.
It's a good one.
Then you have from the outside. Adele Dazeem, I assume.
Yeah, exactly.
So inspirational.
It's a frozen Adele. It's Adele Dazeem.
When is Adele going to come out with another album? Because I do not feel bad enough about myself right now.
Oh.
I'm feeling really good about myself. So I need
Wait, who do you
Adele to come
associate
up-
with
You
in
need-
Adele songs?
I
That's
need
what
Adele
You
to
think
come
Adele
up.
is depressing?
Yeah, it's about like love gone wrong. It's about like pain.
Yeah, but-
it's suffering.
Who do you relate to in the stories though? Are you the guy who's
Are you
creating the
Are you
pain?
creating pain?
I
or
mean,
are you
Is that why?
accepting
Is
it?
this
No,
guilt
well,
that you're
sometimes
feeling?
I'm hello, and sometimes I'm the other side.
Yeah.
So
Uh-huh.
We should definitely, like, first off, I think if listeners would want to share with us, like, the songs that make them the saddest,
Let
that'd
us-
be awesome.
let us know
You
at-
can call in and you can say that number right up there, Jake.
Oh, heck yeah. 347-470-8150?
That's it.
The 8 looks a lot like a 5,
The
folks. So
official-
you heard me stutter.
just going to be honest here, folks. The 8 looks like a 5.
I mean, it does.
I don't
Yeah, it
think
But
does.
one
so.
more time for everybody listening at home, that's 347-470-8150.
Tell us if you are the are you the
The Adele or the outside?
Adele or the outside?
Are you the hello or are you the outside?
But for reals, are there I think but we all have this in our lives. Are there songs or artists that like if it comes on, you're just immediately like slumped over, or sometimes you want to be sad and so you slump over?
Yes, the record by Beck called Sea Change.
Oh, it's the best.
That
What are you
record-
talking about?
That record I love it. But like if I'm in a bad place, like that, it doesn't help, but it doesn't hurt.
Those very first chords that come in on
Oh,
that
dude!
first track,
I mean, it's just
immediate.
like that whole record just gets me in like such a weird mood that for me that's like if I'm like if I want to stay in that depressed place but also feel good, that's my record.
Get housework done at the same time.
Oof.
I could tell you a
Not
song.
motivating, is it?
Well, except for Paper Tiger's motivating.
I was gonna say a lot
Paper
of
Tiger's the one on that record where it's like,
Just
ooh, okay,
like
I could get through here, and then it's like
Tiger.
halfway through that record, you're like,
because a lot of it's kind of haunting, right?
Oh,
Even
yeah.
the production has like a
which
lot
is
of roominess.
His father,
His
yeah.
father, yeah.
He does all the orchestration.
What, he only records in really big rooms, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that makes a ton of sense. Yeah, there's
Did
so
you-
much.
Did you see that Beck came? Sorry, Beck
Presence.
came out
The
as
Presence.
not a Scientologist now.
Yes.
Hey.
it's not.
That
Which
seems
is-
like a win, right?
Yeah, it's great.
I mean, nothing against.
Well,
anybody.
it's a win
No,
for everybody.
actually, against
he was
them.
too weird for Scientology and too cool for everyone else. So
I don't know. I think
He's free to be his own. you know.
exactly,
Yes.
free agent.
yeah,
you know.
yeah.
What's your record?
Oh gosh, I don't know the full answer, but the first thing I'll come to is motion picture soundtrack of Kid A. The last track on that album, like there's no doubt. Like if you put that on, like I will probably just start crying. Like
Oh,
red wine,
wow.
sleeping pills. You're like, it's like, oh my god, it's giving me goosebumps right now. If you need like the sadnessometer, the sadness cue, like that's
That pushes your
gets you
buttons.
right there.
yeah, for sure.
Wow.
Michael?
I'm gonna guess that Jeremy is an Elliott Smith record.
would
I don't even.
imagine
I don't
that.
even.
Yeah,
know
but I
which
don't.
one.
We're skipping.
I don't find.
Like,
Yeah, there's.
Mike's
well,
like,
there
I'm not
used
going
to
to tell you mine, but I'll tell you exactly
I
what
did the
Jeremy
handoff.
But you're
I
wrong.
did the handoff.
You're wrong because
Ouch.
mine is, and I went to a funeral once, and this song was playing over and over in the
Three
fucking
stacks on
funeral
the
home.
radio.
Nope. In the eyes of
Stop
an
it.
angel.
So wait, it was a
far
funeral for
away
pets?
me.
Was it a-
No,
was
that's
it a pet
ASPCA
funeral?
has
Was it a-
been using that
did
song.
it-
Correct.
Did an Irish
It's-
firefighter die and you didn't
Well,
tell
I think
me?
it was like a grandfather or somebody I knew, somebody I worked with. I think
somebody revered.
old fella. Yeah.
As someone who's got Irish blood,
Sarah
if you-
McLachlan.
Amazing Grace also will just do that.
I don't know-
I will
I
just
don't know
start
that I have it-
weeping
I don't-
immediately.
I don't know that I have a total death sad album like that. But you guys kind of.
Any Magnetic Fields record
Oh,
would
that's
probably
fair.
be helpful too.
It's
Yeah.
fair.
Talk about like drinking and being sad. Then next thing you know, you're 33 songs deep into the 69 love songs, and you're very wasted.
Yeah.
Is this it?
Yeah, I think that's the last track, like track 10 or something
Yeah.
like that. Yeah, yeah.
It's untitled, so you know that.
It's really
It's
sad.
really sad.
Yeah. They were so sad they couldn't come up with a title for it. Maybe for me, maybe The Mollusk by Ween.
Interesting.
Wow.
It's big mood.
Are there any? I don't know if I know that by heart. Are there any lyrics or anything you can share?
Did you ever see a whale with a polka dot tail? Did you ever see a man with 6 fingers on his hand?
So this makes me kind of happy though.
Yeah, it's a little
But
dreamy.
is it just the music? Does the music conflict with kind of the tenor of the lyrics?
It varies throughout the record, but I just have these. I remember just when I would ride my bike and listen to music at the same time. I really don't like to listen to headphones while I ride my bike anymore. But when I did, I definitely listened to a lot of Ween.
Yeah.
Just riding my bike around the city.
And there was
Go-
happy times.
Well,
and there
no.
were sad
I was
times
depressed.
riding your
Yeah, I was depressed
Okay,
going to
that's
work.
what I mean. I was like
very sad.
very depressed, very sad.
I was this.
very loud music.
This was what took. It actually took. It took Ween in the morning and then playing the Rockstar, the Warriors video game at night.
Nice.
The PS2 video game where you get to brick people in the face. That was the only thing that helped.
That was your healing.
Sounds
It was
like
my
that's
me
in a
time.
tunnel.
Wow.
That's an alternate version she recorded in the.
That was the
Tunnels
free.
below
That was
New
the
York
free
City.
one that we could use.
They actually
We
recorded.
asked Sarah McLachlan,
Yeah.
and she's like, "You can use this one. It's weird as fuck."
We
Yeah.
recorded it in the kennel where we found the dogs mistreated. That's why it's so roomy.
Yeah. She's like, "Who are y'all?" This is the version you can have.
This is the one you can have. This one goes out to Mr. Pibb and Kibbles.
Right. No, Mr. One Ear.
I do. I mean, Jeremy. Oh, what do we got here? Oh,
Oh no, that one's upbeat.
do that first track. Let's hear that very first.
We're not going to be able to release this.
Yeah.
No, we can't.
No, this
Under
is a
30
great song.
seconds, and it's also fair use.
Fair use.
this sets the tone.
I'm a
of the
musician.
whole
I'm in
album.
the union. We can play whatever music you want. I'll talk.
Danny,
about
I was thinking about doing an album of surf covers. This is kind of apropos of nothing.
Oh, it could be in your kid shows. You could do a surf version instead of a Weezer version. Danny recently did a show at the Brooklyn
Bowl.
Bowl
Bowlery.
Sick.
for kids.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
So
it
you
was
cleaned
a
it up?
rock and roll playhouse. No, we played.
So I cleaned it up.
No, we
yeah, he
didn't
took
really
out
clean it up.
he took out all the ethnic
We
songs.
just didn't. We didn't. Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
We didn't play "Tired of Sex." We didn't do that.
They didn't cover the Who's Young Man's Blues.
We did play. I mean, we played most of the Blue album, and there are some questionable lyrics throughout there. We also played Hash Pipe, but I changed it to Nightlight.
Oh, nice. I was gonna say,
And
like, I don't know if you're covering like Dead Kennedys or
No,
shit,
you
know what I mean?
you
Like-
can. Well, that's the whole thing. Is like they do this thing called Rock and Roll Playhouse, where it's basically like a chance for like parents to spend 2 hours eating and drinking a little bit while their kids are preoccupied by people.
I did
who
that.
Have,
I did that with the
like-
Dead Kennedys, and it was kiss, 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 kiss the poor.
Oh,
Kiss, 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 kiss the
yeah,
poor.
yeah. And it was a holiday in California.
You know it. Yeah, much
don't
nicer.
Forget to pay your rent.
claiming that you know. No, not even. Not even gonna go.
But so
There's no-
anyway, how was it? Did it crush? Did
It
you
was
already talk
great.
about
Oh
Did
no, it
everybody-
was fun. No, it was a very good time. Yeah, I don't. You want to do a surf rock version of what?
Oh, I have a whole bunch of covers that
We're
I want
listening.
that I want to do.
We had an idea to do something for Ninja Clash. What the fuck was it?
Shinobi Ninja?
No,
Is that what you're talking about?
no,
There was
because
a
Macaulay
mashup, right,
Culkin.
of-
Macaulay Culkin had the Velvet Underground pizza mashup, and we wanted to do
The Clash.
like a ninja.
What? The Clash Kanish.
mashup.
No, it was a Clash Kanish.
It was not Kanish.
Yeah, it was.
That
The
would be
Polish.
very specific.
It was
very
Sandinista.
specific.
It was Sandinista Kanish. I remember that was what our concept
I don't know,
was.
people seem hesitant to agree with you. I don't know.
I don't think that's
If I were an
accurate.
arbiter,
I
it'd be
don't.
hard for me.
Okay,
to,
here you go.
I would-
Here's the songs.
for anybody listening at home, Mike is handing Danny a cell phone with things
For the
written
listener.
on
It's
it.
written in the notes app, so I'm not famous enough for it to
is,
be an
you're right.
apology.
Yesterday is Here by Tom Waits. That would be a fun surf cover. Winter Lady by Leonard Cohen would be an amazing surf cover.
There's one that knocks me out always.
Oh, yeah.
The soundtrack to McCabe and Mrs. Miller,
Mm.
which is a lot of Leonard Cohen songs.
Yeah.
That's a sad fucking album, man.
Beginning to See the Light. I could take it or leave. I Am a Scientist by Guided by Voices would be very
But I'm
good.
saying there was
Wowza,
all
yeah.
of these in surf versions.
Yes.
Yeah.
We Got to Get Out of This Place by the Animals, and a surf version would be very cool. And Sunny Afternoon by the Kings. This is a solid list, I will say.
Fun explorations.
And Danny charges $150 a
I
song,
do.
so I'm fundraising right
I
now.
do.
hop
charge
on our
150 a song.
GoFundMe. Yeah.
Jake, do you play an instrument?
Not well.
What he's got a voice. He's
so-
got a voice that's his. That is
I did.
his.
I did. Yeah, well, I mean, thank you for saying that about my voice. I'm in 2020. I'm learning how to take compliments and
Oh,
not negate that.
Gracefully.
You know what? It was
Yeah.
actually really beautiful. You only got a little red in the face.
I know, yeah.
Yeah.
And I wanted to contradict you and say you were wrong, but I didn't. So it's a huge win.
He's smiling through his own, biting his
Okay.
own tongue.
Yeah,
Halfway through the
canines
month
are
of
like-
January, and you're doing great.
Thank you
Let's
so
check
much.
back in May.
Yeah, we'll see what I'm doing. But so I did. I'm a person who dabbled in the band world for a while. I had,
Oh,
you know,
cool.
yeah, like I wrote, man. Every year or two, I'll like look back at the songs that I wrote and be like, oh my gosh, that's right. I did write like 40 songs and I recorded a bunch of them. And I have a couple EPs that I got produced fairly well with a buddy of mine who like was super into music production and had bands and stuff like that. But at that time, long story short, I was writing it all on piano, but I know all the notes on the piano, but I never had piano lessons or anything like that. So even when we did small live stuff, I would play on piano.
Note number 73. Note number 74.
It wasn't far away from it. Like I know that it's like a C, you know what I mean? But like, let me tell you, if I got a little flustered or I had a couple beverages, the piano was not my friend. But so I wrote it all.
Some
on the
clashing
piano.
notes.
Boston, Wisconsin, San Fran. Where
Those are cities.
were you? Where were you plying your trade?
Oh gosh, again, plying my trade. That's an exaggeration. But it was actually when I was in college, which is the bursting metropolis of Stevens Point, Wisconsin.
Ooh.
Yeah.
But you had a safe space to tickle the ivories. Then you sort of like a place to make mistakes and try and
hell yeah.
try again.
And it was great. I mean, I did it for years. Like even when I came out to New York, I was still writing a ton of music and like still produced like self-produced EPs. I loved doing it. Don't get me wrong. If you ever find any of my music, you might be like, this sounds like garbage, but I had a great time doing it. And I think some of the songs are still
that's the
pretty
important
Do you have
Yeah.
a MySpace for it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Who
That's-
knows?
That is the
Oh,
bar.
Now let's
Yeah.
see. Who knows if I eradicated it? But my band was called The World's Fair, like the
Okay.
the double entendre
For
of
the, for the listener.
The World's Fair.
Fact check. First fact check of the episode.
yeah. Wait. Oh no.
Oh yeah,
I'm sorry.
we didn't tell him how this goes.
What's what band name again?
The World's Fair.
You don't know how to pronounce my name, you know?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
not
no.
possessive.
Hey, look.
Hey, still up there.
Oh, that's terrifying. Oh my gosh. Things are going to go so poorly. Oh
not
my
going-
god.
They're not going poorly
You know
at all.
what?
You know what?
I've already shared too much. This shouldn't have gone like
You
this.
see, you
We could make
you
it a
give
half
us-
hour if you
give us
want.
a little bit, and we give you a whole lot. Yeah, we just
Thanks so much for tuning
Hey,
in.
listeners,
Hopefully I'm able to join again
we just
next week.
extended the podcast for another 95 minutes.
Oh boy.
We've been able to get some last minute emergency funding from an anonymous donor.
That's right. Dial 347-470-8150.
Wow.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
that-
be fired after this.
No,
I
that
think.
Yeah,
Jake
I like
is
it.
good.
Hey, you want to do this once a week? We know a really great place called Seltzer King Studios. We just got to pay him $150. It's not a
That's
big
a steal.
deal.
That's not the right rate either.
Oh, is it? No.
That's why it's a steal.
$750,000.
That's why it's a steal.
Same,
Yeah.
same as steal.
A
All
deal
I'll
at
say-
any price.
All I'll say is that the studio conditions are fantastic. The mics are popping. The production is great.
It's 86 degrees in here by the old thermometer.
It doesn't feel like
Oh.
86 in here, though.
No,
I
it's
took
a
off
dry.
my sweatshirt because I thought it was going to get steamy, but that was mostly about just like the kind of animal tension we have
No,
between
no,
the four
no.
of
I
us.
think so.
I thought the subject matter, but that too.
Oh yeah.
For the listener, we met over the summer in Connecticut and became
Connect to
very close friends. very
Neighbors.
quickly.
You became neighbors.
That is-
We
That's
became
right.
Jake and I became neighbors. We would run into
You were
each other
already neighbors, but
a
then
few times in Brooklyn.
yeah, we went to
At the
the
garden.
Danny has a
walking down the
favorite
street.
laundry mat, but that's over here. That's not in Crown Heights, right?
I haven't been going recently because I don't have enough
Jeepers.
time to get all the way over here. I'm for 3 years I'm that much of a crazy person that I would take my car and I'd drive to my old neighborhood to go do laundry in the laundromat across the street from my old apartment.
Think about his carbon footprint, bro.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm actually in his camp. Like if I find, like if something rubs me the wrong way at a certain place, and there's a place like haircuts for me for haircuts. Like if I
Same.
can't find
That's
the person who I can, like,
understandable. Sure.
the person in the place where I can feel safe and comfortable, and I know the system, like I'll go out of the way. I'll keep going back there.
Geraldine and
Mhm.
Maria picked up and just moved across the street. It's great. The
For you?
I was-
Yeah,
who's
the haircut-
Gerald-
who's
yeah, I was
Geraldine
saying,
and Maria?
Can
my
we
bar-
get some context?
my barbers.
Hey, look,
They
Jake,
left.
Jake
Yeah.
understands. You have to ask Mike sometimes for context for these names.
I'm horrible at transitions. Mike's horrible at giving context. Danny, what's your?
I'm
Oh,
just
you
a
sweat a
horrible
lot.
person.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hey.
you can't pronounce names
yes.
either.
Bad person.
Well, that's
Bad-
part of
just
the
a bad
intro.
person.
Yeah.
I do the same thing. I also get my hair cut in my old neighborhood too.
Yeah.
I tried to just play your band and it won't play on MySpace. I guess MySpace is broke finally.
It's the FLAC. it's the FLAC.
Today
You
was
need the
the day.
lossless version.
Yeah.
Get the
Hey,
lossless.
no, just tell me what
version.
track you were playing. I'll just do it for you.
I'll
Just-
yeah,
let's do it. Yeah,
I've
yeah.
I've got them all memorized.
Can you
so.
transpose from piano to guitar? Because that's all we have here.
Yeah.
Good God, no.
Oh no, I got a little MIDI. We could do MIDI.
Honestly,
you got
but
a
take a
little
minute.
MIDI? You
Yeah,
got a
take a
little-
minute.
That was my biggest thing. Like I love the guitar sound, and I always wish that I had learned guitar to write on guitar. Yeah, and so like most of my the people that I loved to work with musically, like I'd gravitated towards a lot of guitarists.
Jake, do you have 20 minutes a day? This is a real question.
Dan
because-
Smith can teach you
because
how to play
fuck-
guitar.
Fuck Dan Smith. Danny T
Yeah,
can teach you how to play guitar.
well,
And he needs income. So
No, I don't
this
need
works
it.
for-
I would do
works
it.
for both of us.
150 everything.
I would do it. I would do it for free. I would do it for free once a month if he promises to practice 20 minutes a day.
Wow.
First off, that's an incredible offer.
Incredible.
And what I would say in your answer to answer your question about the time.
Can I just do 140 minutes once a week?
Yeah, can we compress that? No, I'd say like I would need to make that. I know that time is about what you make your priorities. You know what I mean?
Truth.
So like I can absolutely find 20 minutes. Did you say a day? Would you say a day?
Takes 20 minutes a day.
Can
You
handle-
take
I can handle
20 minutes a day for a month, and then your fingers start to feel comfortable.
Yeah.
Because the first month it's tough, and that's when people can't handle it
I'm
because
so tired of walking on these
your fingers are doing things
it's tough
that
for you, Mike.
they're not used to doing, and it's not
Yeah, no
doesn't
shit.
feel good. It's not fun.
Even when I dabble, no doubt. And of course, this is.
Oh, you dabble in No Doubt? That's your.
Yeah,
That's
Gwen
your jam?
and I,
Yeah.
for
Do you
sure.
do that on Sunday mornings? That's cool.
Don't speak.
No, I mean, anybody who's ever played a guitar is like listening to me talk about this, being like, "My God, you're telling me that your fingers hurt after you played for 20
My
minutes?"
fingers
Yeah.
hurt. That's
So,
true. They
How do I
don't.
make them not hurt? Yeah, but what I'll say
The
is
answer
You
is
keep
icy
playing.
hot lidocaine.
No, that's not the.
Yeah.
Is that the answer?
That doesn't work.
No,
I
you
feel
just
like-
keep playing. That's
I
the
feel like-
exactly.
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what I know the answer is. Like,
yeah. I used to have calluses on all my hands, but
No
now I
doubt.
don't play guitar anymore.
How many hands?
How many hands do you have?
4.
Yeah, 4.
Yeah, top and bottom.
You
I
were
have
saying, Jake.
foot hands.
It
and
probably wasn't important.
hands.
No, you're saying that your hands.
Oh, anywho, yeah, I just wanted to say that I completely understand that the dedication to it is so essential because the times that I've dabbled, I do have a decent reach in my hand span,
Mhm.
but I also have thicker fingers. So, some of the
Sure.
fretwork is a little delicate and my my meat hooks struggle.
I got meat hooks too, man.
yeah, that's
you
what I'm
make
saying.
it work.
I'm making no excuses. I know
No,
it's,
take up the bass like he did.
Well, I play,
Go to
that's what I'm
thicker-
saying. I play
thicker.
guitar as well, but I am a bass player by
Yeah.
trade.
He's a bass man.
The bass man gets the good-looking
bass
girl's
player by trade.
best friend.
I can tell.
You can tell. I know. That's true. And I don't think anyone's ever gotten that wrong when they're like, "Oh, you play in a band? What do you play?" I'm like, "What do you think I play?" And everyone's like, "Bass."
Yeah.
And the chubby fucking guy in the back
He doesn't have a
playing bass. Like, "Oh, I guess everybody's seen the Goo Goo Dolls videos."
He doesn't. He doesn't own a van, so he couldn't play drums.
Drums.
Right,
Exactly.
right.
They're like, you own a van? Like, can I ask you about your car? And you're like, no,
Nope, nope.
car questions.
No personal charisma, so he couldn't
Volkswagen
be a,
Jetta. You must be a bass player.
Exactly. Like, will you smile for me? Nope, not gonna smile.
Oh man.
I do want to shout out to my lovely girlfriend Marla for making these really delicious fruity vodka seltzer drinks. Shout out to Marla.
Absolutely.
Wow.
To change the
Well, I
subject.
didn't-
This
You didn't get
this
any,
fruity
but-
vodka seltzer break brought to you by Marla brand beverages.
Marl's brand.
If you have a question or a comment about Marla's drink making abilities, you can let us know at 347
Drinking abilities.
470-81.
50.
Goodness.
Also,
50.
I want to. Your house. So we saw you in Connecticut.
That's correct. That's
Yes.
for anybody that doesn't know. We met
Connecticut.
in Connecticut.
Yeah.
I was told Hartford. This when I saw you all earlier, I guessed Bridgeport. I was wrong. I didn't know where we were.
Maybe next year, man.
But, yeah, Bridgeport.
Next
Well,
year in
Bridge-
Bridgeport is a
Bridgeport's
common
on
prayer.
Bridgeport's on the Sound,
Okay.
and Hartford is off the river.
What?
If that
What?
makes any sense to you?
Uh,
The Connecticut River,
Okay.
Hartford.
It's a handy mnemonic
Bridgeport.
device.
Bridgeport is on
the Sound.
On the Sound.
Hartford's on the river.
Yeah. Hartford's on the river.
Drop your
Bridgeport's
wallet
on
and
the
I'll give you a
Sound.
skiver.
Hartford's on the river.
Oh, yeah,
Dun,
yeah.
dun, 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 dun. That's the only time I'll give the Doors anything on this
Wow.
show because I hate them.
Okay. Whoa. Have
I
we
hate
dug
them.
into that before? Have
Oh,
we explored that?
tons.
Okay.
Yeah,
then we don't need to. Yeah.
It's okay. I just don't. I think Morrison was full of shit, and I
was,
don't believe it.
across the board.
Go across the board. I also think Ray Manzarek was full of shit too.
Wow.
But John Densmore,
They
and-
can't fight
and
back
Robbie
because they're
Krieger.
dead.
They-
No,
Yeah, yeah.
John Densmore. That's
Cheap
right.
shots.
Yeah,
cheap shots.
look, that's the thing. The only two surviving members of the Doors were the coolest parts anyway, and they're still doing their thing.
They must have finished their
Ringo.
vegetables.
Robbie Krieger just played in Los Angeles, not like, I don't know, a couple days ago, and had who the fuck was it? Who I can't remember who it was. It was some big celebrity actor like singing Jim Morrison and like yeah.
John
Also,
Goodman?
Wow, was it John? Are they still doing Doors tracks then? Yes,
I'm sure. Like Robbie Krieger was there playing his guitar like note for note. Like if
So-
you tuned everyone else out and you were just focusing in on guitar, you're like, whoa.
Yeah,
My
But everything else was just like
My son is obsessed with organs. Like I got him listening to 60s music, so he's into the organs. And so
Moog action.
I was- not yet. I was really into the Vox organs of the 60s, and I took a little video of him watching a music video for my buddy, whatever he's watching the House of the Rising Sun or something.
Yeah.
And my buddy comes back. He's like, "Yeah, got to get him into the Doors now." And I texted back, "No offense, but I'd like to, delay that as long as possible."
You want to protect him. You're trying to protect him.
I think I might have used the word protect.
Yeah, start with
in
Emerson,
there.
Lake and Palmer.
No offense. But his
Like,
response
watch out,
was,
that guy's throwing knives into his organ to make sounds. That's what he was doing.
For real?
he really enjoys
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, Keith Emerson at times live on stage would like throw stuff into his big organ and it would be like, it would make weird noises. I don't know if it was real or not, but like he was doing it.
Yeah, who cares? The theater of it's great.
Who cares?
Yeah.
I saw Emerson, Lake and Palmer when I was 16 years old.
What was the knife
Beacon
budget?
Theater, at the Beacon Theater with my parents, and at that point I had already been smoking weed. And
Humble brag.
At that evening, he had already been smoking.
No, I
weed.
wasn't. No, because I was with my parents and I wasn't able. I was 16 years old. No, they certainly didn't smoke weed. And there was a woman. We were like we were like the last row, so like our backs were to like the end of the Beacon Theater, and there was a woman in front of us who was like totally like just. She was just having fun, probably high, but she was like feeling every fucking note that Keith Emerson played, and was like, her hair was all crazy, and she was going nuts. My parents were using her as like a
don't do drugs.
That's
Danny.
why you shouldn't do drugs.
Don't do drugs,
And in
Danny.
the back of my head, I was like, Dad, I've already seen Fish like 10 times. Like this is tame. Like this, she needs more. Like. She needs to take more acid now.
Yeah. I will say, like, so when I'm at a show where there are some folks under the influence, like, and I'm maybe not at that level, I do sometimes struggle.
I drink their blood to get there.
Everybody creeps out of the room. The room is
Backs out.
Like, all of a sudden, just sound effects like.
It's much cheaper than buying your own drugs.
Yeah, so I could transition to that, I suppose, or like just a
Oh,
syringe.
what are you?
Yeah, what were you?
Who knows?
No.
Because Mike did the thing about drinking blood.
No. I want to know what you have to
See,
say.
Mike, calm down, Mike. Jesus Christ.
No, I love it.
Hey, you'll scab up. Don't worry.
No, I'll say like if somebody like is getting kind of like leany or like touching or handsy and you're like not quite there, like I don't know, sometimes I'm like I don't quite know how to handle.
How do
like,
I enjoy this experience on the
without,
same level?
Yeah, or like not be weird, like, hey, I'm sorry, like I'm not quite there.
So I hit myself on the head with a hammer real quick to catch up with them.
It's a smile and like turn away.
Yeah, I mean,
Smile, turn away.
Oh, somebody's calling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God. Yeah, I'm at a concert right now. Oh, it's awesome.
and like drift slowly, but then I feel like I could feel like a stiff. Like people are like, "What? You're not okay?
Loosen
with me
up,
leaning
bro."
on you?" And
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
Your body weight is on me. I feel very.
I just came
if
here to
you're-
enjoy the
if you're-
music.
If you're sitting in seats, that's problematic. If you're on the floor
they're
and
in my
it's
lap,
standing
I'm
room
sitting.
only, then you're fucked.
Then you're part of it. Yeah, you're
Then
right.
you're part of it.
Actually,
didn't
you're right.
break-
It's a contract. If you're on the floor and
If you're on the floor, that's it.
Bro, you got to bring PC at that point, just wherever you go.
PCP,
No, personal cardboard.
Oh, person cardboard.
No,
Petty
it's
cash, I wasn't sure.
it's key. It's key for standing room show. So then it's on either side, and then you're not touching anything. Personal cardboard.
It's like a Doctor Who.
Daniel's son wanted to be
Yeah.
invisible
Phone
at the dance.
My friend's little brother took me to go see Rancid at they have this like festival called the Black and Blue.
And you'd already been smoking weed, so
I mean, no, I'm like
My parents.
No, I'm 32 years old at this point, and he knew that I was a big Rancid fan, and like so we went to the show, and he was like getting me all hyped up, like we gotta go, like we got like the other band's done, like Rancid's coming, we gotta get right up front. Last time I saw Rancid with this kid, we were at Irving Plaza and we were on the rail
And we got kicked.
the whole time, and it was one of the most fun shows ever. And I was in like my mid-20s. He was like 19 years old, and he was like, it was like a fun experience because my best friend was not into this music, but his little brother was. So he and I had shared this like connection, right?
Yeah.
So he's like, we got to go to the show, blah blah blah. So it was at Webster Hall, and I'm like, dude, I'm fucking 32 years old. Like, there's a bunch of kids here. It's like hardcore bands.
I don't want to get elbowed in the fucking
hardcore
head.
bands before fucking Rancid. Like, I'm not. No, I'm gonna sit by the bar. I'm gonna have a couple drinks. I'm gonna enjoy the show. He runs off by himself, and then I'm like standing there, like
Feeling like a jerk.
feeling like I'm like, oh, fine.
I'm getting in there.
Yeah.
Get on
Oh,
up.
you got in?
I went right up to the front with him. I'm like two people behind the rail. Show's great, having a lot of fun. Some fucking young kid jumps up on stage, runs around, does a front fucking flip into the crowd. I go to like, oh shit, he's coming at me. His fucking Converse goes between my hands, hits me in the face, knocks me down. I'm seeing stars.
Aren't you
I'm
glad
like,
it wasn't Doc Martens?
I'm like, God damn, yeah, thank God it was. Yeah, it was like
Thank God it
nice,
wasn't
soft
Doc
fucking
Martens.
cons.
Yeah.
No, it's just like a little bloody. I'm like,
Yeah. Could've
fuck. Like I think
broken.
I might have just broken my nose. I'm fucking old.
And I-
show.
and I'm-
Rock and roll,
and I'm
man.
still right up front.
And I'm kissing my friend's little brother, and
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Why? How
He's
did we get
looking-
here?
he
How do
looked
we?
at me-
Why are we here? I don't
He-
even know anything about
Dude,
you.
he looked at me
Yeah.
like,
I'm
"What
not
the
even
fuck?"
into blondes.
And I was just kind of like dipped out to the side, got
Yeah.
all the way over, like standing my back against the wall, like, fuck, gotta make sure. Fine. No, I gotta just maintain and just watching all these people just like,
Everything.
everything's
Yeah.
cool. It's just wheezing through my nose a little bit.
No, I'm the same way. Like I'm always a person who makes the wrong decision about their own. Like I'll be like, oh, I should probably stay on the side. No, I'll get in there. Like I think a couple years ago,
My friends are 10 rows up. Let me just make I'm making my way over there. I understand.
or they're like, come on up, and you're like, oh yeah, I'm on my way, and they never
Yeah,
see
you
you.
never
I
see
come.
him again.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're like, how was the show?
I was next to you the whole time.
We
you
could
know?
switch out. You could go down a little. I can
Yeah,
go down a
I'll
little.
come in. I'll come
Yeah,
later.
It never happens.
A buddy of mine, I think just a couple years ago, it was like the case in point for the same experience. He was going to see Avenged Sevenfold. I knew he was going. I was like, cool, man, have an awesome time. And he felt the exact same way. He's like, I don't know if I should get in the pit for this. I don't know. But he got there, probably had a couple drinks. And he's like, fuck it. And got in there and was having a good time. And I think he had been in the pit for like 3 minutes. And he got something happened, probably got shoved too hard, hit the ground. But like came down on his arm, broke his collarbone,
Oh.
like immediately had to get
God,
out. And like, I
you're
think he
like-
stayed the rest of the show like off on the sidelines, but I had to go to the hospital.
Yeah, man.
Dancing while holding
It's
the
like,
the ends of the bone together.
Yeah, your
because that's-
limp arm.
It is the
Ugh.
most painful break.
it's just the most expensive $30 concert I'd ever been to because I didn't have insurance.
Copay. Yeah, you need to make the copay after that, and your deductible.
Fuck.
I remember being so excited about going to shows like that as a kid. Like
Yeah, me
it's
too.
all I would do for 5 summers. It's all I would do is go from show to show to show to show with my buddy Travis from Ohio. Good old
From
Ohio
Shout out,
shows.
Travis.
Yeah. But yeah, I do miss it but I did the same thing. I went to a show and I was like in the mix and I was like right on the border of I should be here and I should not be here. I was like, yeah, man, I'm still cool. And it just fucking killed me. I was the next day I could feel it. You know, that's the sign of being
Scoots.
old. Yeah.
When I'm
Scoots.
front row
Pre-Scoots.
at that Ariana Grande stuff, like I feel the same way. It's-
on the rail, you mean?
Yeah,
as
yeah.
Danny says.
Way
Sorry.
too old. I feel too old.
should say really quickly, major respect to Ariana Grande, but I do not attend those
Sure.
shows with frequency.
Oh,
Yeah.
but when you do,
But when I do, and I'm up against the
you are
rails,
right up against the
Yeah.
rails.
pushing people out of the
I'm
way.
up front.
This is
Trying
my
to start the
experience.
mosh.
Funny because Jake works for Madison Square Garden on the weekends doing security.
Yeah, that is
That's
one of my
why
side
you're on
hustles.
the rail.
They all know each other.
You know what's funny is actually now that I think of Ariana Grande, she and I actually worked on one of the same properties. She was on Winx Club and I'm on Winx Club.
Huh.
I think I was
No way.
quite a ways back in the day for her, like probably when she was
Nice.
on the
All right.
ascension. But that is funny. We're
This was actor Ariana Grande,
Yeah,
not
yeah,
musician.
yeah.
She saw you on the plateau.
yeah. Her
Mike
rocket
and I
ship
are colleagues.
was passing my wagon.
Mike and I are
Ratchet.
colleagues with her too because she was on Nickelodeon, but we were on Nickelodeon first.
Oh wow! So you kind of like set the table for her.
Yeah.
Has she
yeah.
thanked you?
No.
Not specifically.
Ariana, if you're listening, 347-470-8150. Dial in, say hey to the team here. We'd love to chat with you.
Please call in.
Feel free to deliver any Ariana Grande thanks that
Could-
you could solicit.
Yeah, could you, if she wanted to, would you be able to shoehorn her in here for a session?
Oh,
or-
sure.
Actually, I think we could get her.
Yeah.
We have her best friend. We know her best friend. He's she's been in our Man Boob sketches. His name is. He used to be on a Disney show.
Is this real?
Yeah,
No, Matt Bennett.
Matt Bennett.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Did we get
former
Matt Bennett.
Nickelodeon. Is it Nickelodeon or Disney?
No, it was Nickelodeon.
Okay.
What the
Do
fuck?
people
No fucking Disney.
He was
man.
the.
Get that out of here. Actually, a bunch of my shows are Disney.
Oh, sorry.
Love
You
the
can
rat.
say it,
Love the
though.
rat.
That's okay.
Jake
I was
did
on.
not
I
say
no, it's
anything
okay.
about
I was
it.
in the Mighty Ducks. That's also Disney.
Oh,
Okay.
It's like I don't even know you.
Oh, you're on the rail.
Was
Get back on.
I'm on the rail.
Get back on the rail.
No.
Took me a
But yeah.
long time to get back on the rail.
Okay, a little pleasure I had recently, and I didn't want to admit it because it seemed like the cheesiest thing. Was watching this show called Good Girls on Netflix, which is about Retta and Christina Hendricks and one other woman.
Does it have a devil's tail in the title?
Maybe.
Good girls with the.
No, it's not Good Girls Club. It's not that.
Oh, okay. Because I know.
No,
that,
it's
yeah.
just about them like being suburban, like life of crime women, and I just enjoyed it, and I didn't know if I should. I thought it might be a guilty pleasure. But fuck it.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying watching it.
It's hard for me to believe that you people believe in guilty pleasures. There's just pleasures. You know what I mean? Like
No. I have guilt over time.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, eventually.
Mine is
Not at the time.
brand new, and Mike was here when it was playing. Project Blue Book.
Blue Book?
History
I don't know
Channel.
what the fuck that is.
Blue Book?
Blue Book.
Yeah.
History Channel.
It's about the work that went into the first comics pricing guide.
Is this real?
No, it's
Oh,
about
God, I was gonna say, that would've been
aliens.
fucking
What the
bad.
fuck?
That's actually a great idea.
Yeah,
Oh my
what,
God.
what are
That's
you
a $1 billion
That's
idea.
not
Put
bad.
pull it down.
What the fuck is Project Blue Book?
I mean, it's an alien show. It's
I'm also
okay.
in. Still in on that.
it's they're apparently during.
Why is that a guilty pleasure?
Yeah.
That's what I
Why
keep
can't
coming back
be-
to.
yeah, no,
Well,
no,
I mean,
I like
know,
what
we
you're.
won't-
I like what you're saying.
Embrace your pleasures.
There's a couple Nickelback songs I like.
Okay, that will
Get
get you
out.
kicked out.
Wow.
Like,
Wow, everybody just turned on Jake so fast.
But I know that it's the
stay tuned for the latest 10-minute episode from Jake Paque.
Look at this photograph. Jake Pake's gotta leave real fast.
Right now.
He pissed everyone off.
That's what I was saying. But that's the defining line for guilty pleasures. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So I'm too old.
Sure.
I'm too old for Nickelback.
Chad Kroger.
So I have to say Silverchair.
Oh, dude, I
see?
love so. That's
Why
what.
is that a guilty
Yeah,
pleasure?
that's one of my favorite
Oh, no,
bands
it's
ever.
not, it's not a pleasure. I'm just thinking of an old band with the same amount of
weird.
syllables.
Because
This will be a fun game. Bands with the same
Yeah.
with 2 syllables. Great. Here we go.
Silverchair.
Radio.
Rolling
Oh,
Stones.
Fuck you, Mike.
yeah, fuck you, Mike.
I love
No, it is.
Silverchair. I'll stand by it. I'll stand
Nickelback
by
is
it.
3. No,
No,
Nah.
Silverchair.
Nickelback. Yeah, we're on.
Okay.
Yeah.
People are watching us count
If
syllables.
you
Terrible.
think
Or
if you
listening.
think that they should have
Terrible.
less syllables, let us know at 347-470-8150.
Or if,
Yeah.
or if you like Project Blue Book, give a call at 347-470-8150.
Why?
Because I want to talk to them.
And
I
if
want
you
to
like-
talk about
And
it.
if you like
so
some
lonely.
Smash Mouth songs, who fucking cares?
Fuck you, man. No, I'm kidding.
You might as well be walking on the sun at that point.
If you have
Smash Mouth has been telling us about global warming and environmental shit for 25 years, and we weren't fucking listening.
I was thinking that if we all just had Mobile Suit Gundams, this would not be a problem
I'm glad you asked.
because we could just get in our suits and go to another space system where
Hence
Is
Project
this
Blue
a
Book.
thing? What is this? What are you talking about?
Well, we're still talking about mechs, Gundam. Yeah,
Are
you're
you-
talking
yeah,
about Gundam.
you know what
Wait,
Gundam-
I
you know
don't know what
Gundam-
Gundam- I don't know what that is.
well, you remember like Robotech, right?
Yes,
You remember Robotech? They
Yes.
had like there was like kind of I'm the robot, I'm the plane, I'm something in between. They had all these different forms. So a Gundam was just like kind of a super awesome robot, and it would be you could
Gundam
probably,
style?
yeah. Well, you could just
I'll get out.
you
I'll
could probably you
Yeah,
could probably
actually
come in.
store you could probably store a lot of people in the Gundams while you were waiting for the
Mhm.
atmosphere
Well, it's
to
tough.
clear up
Technically,
again.
The Gundam, I mean, a Gundam has like a cockpit for one. I mean, yeah,
but
so
you
like
could
Gundam-
hollow out the leg.
Yeah, there might be room for folks in there for sure. I mean,
You're
it's
right.
not like this is Pac Rim where they've got like multiple people in the cockpit.
I haven't seen either. Was there 2 Pacific Rims? Right, there were. I feel like that's the type of
If
thing where you guys
Danny and Jeremy, if y'all want to take off,
Yes.
just go
you
off.
guys okay. So
Excuse
Jeremy,
me, does anybody here have a 20-sided die to let me know if I should leave or not?
Jeremy,
not, friend,
you
but I'll
watch
roll this
Pacific
one.
Rim. You watch Pacific Rim 1. Danny, you watch Pacific Rim 2, and then
loop back with us.
yeah, and then
Yeah.
we'll see what we can do for the sequel.
We could just talk about aliens. I'm into.
Yeah.
into
So,
that.
Mike, though, I do want you to get an opportunity to close the loop on your how
Thank you.
Gundam could help us overcome climate change.
I love that Jake is like on point. Like, let's get back to
Yeah.
what you were saying.
Back to the lecture at hand.
Because when you think about all the worlds that they come from, in Mobile Suit Gundam, you feel like there's sort of this definite like Nazi allegory for the evil invaders and stuff like that. So it's people are defending their home planets, but I think it would kind of be just as smart. Well, they're very good fighting robots. If they were better at just like leaving robots. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, we
sort of diffused, like
if the
the
Gundam were
Patrick
cargo ship.
yeah, or the Patrick Ewing robot that just came in when people were fighting and did choose to diffuse, where he put his hand on the flame.
That's
You don't remember that PSA, choose to diffuse?
No. Was that like during the weed era, or this was War on
No,
Drugs?
this was like
I
early
learned
90s.
from watching you,
This was the
Patrick
90s.
Ewing.
I've worked on a couple Gundam series. I have absolutely no clout whatsoever. But what I'll do is I'll put in a word and see if we can get some content about like peace Gundam
I
or
think-
anti
Yeah,
like climate helping Gundam.
I think
I'll
a
see if I can-
resolution Gundam
about-
would be really good.
What about anti-discipline?
Ooh, find it.
Anti-dis-
Find it.
Anti-dis- yep. anti-disestablishmentarianism Gundam.
I know that kind of be like a shadow Gundam if the with the party out of power.
So on our to-do list
constructing-
is contact Ariana Grande.
Ariana Gundam.
Ariana Gundam. There you
gosh,
go.
He's got it all. He's really got it all.
I'm impressed.
It was bound to happen sooner or later, Dan.
Also,
No, I mean probably my first introduction to that whole sort of concept would probably be Voltron, probably
Voltron's so
Robotech,
good.
maybe like a year before Voltron. But then you also had the idea. I was like, what if those people fell out of those cockpits at any point?
Oh, I think they do, and they die in space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm saying you
Just
just
because
like,
of humans.
you punch each other right in the chest, and then the cockpit busts.
It
And,
explodes. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about a lot of great content there, man. If Danny and Jeremy need to catch up on, there's multiple
Look,
seasons of Voltron.
I'm a fan of old school Voltron. I was
Old
watching
school.
that as a kid, for
Yeah.
sure. And I had a bunch of those action figures.
was Pidge your favorite? Because I liked Pidge.
Pidge was
Is that
cool.
the green one? Am I wrong?
Oh,
Which one was the lion one?
Now it's like an exam.
trick
Have you seen any
question.
of the new Voltron on Netflix?
No. Oh, no.
I would suggest
Is it
fire
good?
it up. Yeah. It's very enjoyable, and the animation's very cool. Obviously because it's such a heralded property. There's people on both sides.
There's expectation, sure.
Yeah, and people are like,
Sure.
"Don't change my thing." And people who are like, "Yeah,
Yeah,
do your thing."
do it. Yeah.
But
Something for us, something
worth
for our
firing up.
generation.
It's like Gamergate, but Anime Gate instead of people are on either side.
It's
of
no,
it.
it's nothing.
Okay,
It's
good.
nothing
Just
like
making
that at
sure.
all. Thanks. Delete that.
Just-
Jake, what do you think when you're
Oh, God, that's
watching a program? How do you not critique voice work? Like as a voice actor, how do you take yourself out of it and just enjoy a program?
Ooh, gosh, it's tough. I think we were all in different facets of the industry. And
We
so,
all
like,
watch cartoons, though. I'm just saying.
Yeah, but I mean, what I'd say is like any kind of artist, like when you look at something, it's hard to step away from criticism. Like going to a movie, like I work really hard to just be like, I'm just going to enjoy this movie. You know what I mean?
And not think about the
Without, like-
processes that went into it.
Yeah, and it's hard not to. It always creeps in.
I think about the lighting sometimes
of
and the edit.
course.
You can't help but think about the editing while you're watching a film, unless it's so good, it's so subtle, you don't even notice it. Type of
No
thing.
doubt. And those are the times that I think it's like, you tip your cap. You're like, great, I didn't think about it. Or I was wowed by it. My wife will, every once in a while.
wife.
Yeah, indeed. Thank you.
Now,
Give me a little bit of a shush, like if we're watching something, especially in the theaters. I'll be like, the lighting. And she's like, shh, 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 shh.
Let me
You're
enjoy
saying that
this.
out loud. You're saying that out loud. Honey, you're talking out loud.
That's cool.
But I mean, like, especially Christopher Nolan stuff. Sometimes you see these these wide shots in Nolan pieces that are like lit so
Right,
well.
very
It's
big
so
tableau, yeah.
expensive and so crazy to control it. And I just be like, my God. She's like, honey, you're talking out loud. But so to come back to what you're saying, like, with anime, I guess, or animation stuff, like, I think I have a pretty healthy relationship with the successes and the job that other people do, because I think a lot of people in my industry are crazy talented. You know what I mean? Like there are things that
I would agree that they're crazy talented, but they're also crazy prolific. You know what I mean?
Mhm,
It
mhm.
seems like you get a voice, and then everybody wants that voice to be a different character. You know what I mean?
For sure.
That there can be big fish taking up a lot from little fishes.
Yeah, well, no doubt. I mean, a huge thing too. Again, if we're not getting too inside baseball, when it comes to the commercial world too, there's a huge level of value apparently on the marketing side to known voices. That's why you've got people like Will Arnett, who voices so many brands.
everything.
You know what I'm saying? Like he
Anything that involves like a drunken mistake.
oh
or a Ford truck.
But I'm
or
saying
a-
like that's
yeah.
but that's a character that he cultivated from
Arrested Development?
Or what do you-
from Arrested Development
Oh,
into Bojack is like this sort of like slightly pickled, alcoholic.
Oh,
That's because, but I'm saying because that's the characters that he's built in his
oeuvre.
that's the characters he's built in his work in live action. That voice, that character is more easily laid onto the characters that he plays, like Bojack, and then like you're saying in the commercial world.
Yeah, I mean, it's fascinating. So, like, he's the voice, as you're saying. I think it's GMC. He's the
Yeah,
voice of
GMC.
Reese's. He's the voices like so many of these like huge brand properties. And there's
Things that advertise during football. Go ahead.
I
Sorry.
suppose, yeah. Are
Sorry.
those- yeah. I mean, it makes
Just
sense.
bro brands.
Bro brands. Oh, interesting. Yeah, it's a good point. I never thought about that. But to close the loop on what I was saying, like people like that, and like even like H. John Benjamin, who
Arby's, the new Arby's guy.
Yeah. And you know, from Aqua Teen Hunger Force and from Archer and
Home movies.
Yeah. Like that's a voice too that like became permeated in our culture, and we like knew from places and was you know, across the board. And something about that awareness, you know, marketing and advertising realized that that's a commodity or an asset. And so like that does breed more work because people know that. They're like, I know that voice, or I recognize that. And even if you can't pinpoint it, there's value in it. And I don't agree or disagree. I'm not like an advertising analyst, you know, but to your big fish, little fish thing, you're all right. Like, you know, when it comes to like a union commercial for Reese's or something like that, like understandably, Will Arnett is incredibly popular, has an amazing voice. Like nobody's got his voice. I wouldn't ever go in and
is already loaded up in that category.
But yeah, so it does.
But there are a lot of brands that also decide to go. We're looking, you know, you go in for auditions for stuff, and it's like you read it, and they're like, what they're looking for. Like, we're looking for the Will Arnett style.
But we
all can't pay for them.
Exactly.
We're going to handle you.
We all know that they don't want to pay
union scale.
We know that they don't want to pay Will Arnett bucks, but they want that quality voice.
Right.
Yeah, no doubt.
And that's why you go to Fiverr.com.
And that's where Jake Paque comes in.
It is exactly. If you want like a mediocre Will Arnett,
Fiverr.com.
dial 347-470-8150.
You're doing great with the plugs.
Yeah, crushing it. Don't at me at Jake Paque at Twitter at JAKEPAQUE, because you know I will not respond there for your job offers.
PAQUE.
I was trying to look up how many voices he does, and it's the ones that are listed are CBS promos, GMC truck.
It just went to a link to Wilson Pickett's song "Land of a Thousand Voices."
That too. Lamisil, which of course.
Are you serious? Lamisil?
Yep. The Gap.
Wait.
Bro brand.
Lamisil is what? Athlete's Foot. Right?
AT&T, Hulu Plus, and the one that's Best Buy, and the one that surprises me the most, co-host for Woodstock 94 pay-per-view. Will Arnett.
Okay, this doesn't.
I thought you were giving Jake's credits, you fuck.
No, we're talking about Will Arnett.
Who cares about Will Arnett? I'm talking about
what
Jake.
we're talking about.
This is the Will Arnett segment. We've got it on the board, Mike.
Yeah, it's
you
on
knew
the
we were
board.
talking about Will Arnett.
It was blocked out from 12:50 to 12:19.
Yeah, the Will block.
Woodstock. It's a weird thing. I want to look it up now and see why he was the co-host for Woodstock 94 for the pay-per-view.
He obviously lost a coin toss.
Yeah, something
He rolled
happened.
the D20 in it.
You were.
94.
It's time to tip the cap to our nerd friends. Jake came in here with kind of a interesting physical object. You want to explain a little bit about the 20-sided die?
Indeed.
And if we have Patreon viewers on these, so if you know, keep in mind you do have a camera there.
Fantastic. So in the studio, as listeners and viewers probably know, there is a delightful shelf with a lot of accoutrement. That there's a little lack of clarity on whether or not it's like a take a penny, leave a penny situation. Whether guests are supposed to leave a gift or take a gift.
Lending library.
We're working this out, but I do carry a 20-sided die with me.
This gets you nerd credit in a lot of places. I hadn't thought about this before, but I think that he's already married, ladies, but there might be a girl whose heart is melted by the guy who carries a 20-sided die in his pocket.
Or a man. It's a person.
Literally,
or
anybody. I hope to be melting all the hearts.
You're melting the three of us in here.
Like
We're puddles.
Reese's peanut butter cup ad, not
by Will Arnett.
Not voiced by it.
So anywho,
Reese's.
It is, for anybody that knows me, I can be a little twitchy, I can be a little neurotic, and I didn't go the fidget spinner route.
They're hard to work.
Yeah.
Over 30, it's hard to work.
That's because of those sausage fingers of yours, Meat Hook.
I think it's just our brains are working differently than the kids.
Oh, they don't hear the same frequencies of sound, and they can't understand.
I've lost all those high end and low end frequencies from all those loud concerts.
The Mosquito app for chasing off teenagers from the mall.
That's what I hear. I hear the spin is in like hearing the oh, I'm doing it right. I can't fucking hear that shit.
Yeah, what if I was like, I just couldn't figure out how they were?
Plus, I'd
like my money back on this.
The imprint in your jeans of a fidget spinner is just not a good look. I'm sure that's a little less bulky.
Oh, that would be so cool.
You know what I mean?
I love that idea, Jeremy. Just like the wallet outline and the fidget spinner.
But a 20-sided die and a guy wearing tight pants is like, do you have leg cancer?
Well, let me ask
he
you
could
all
have a small tumor.
Let me ask you all and the listeners.
Excuse me.
Oh, there's Danny. Danny's okay. We resuscitated him. We cut.
Have some vodka.
Yeah.
Clear.
Yeah. So I am a person. I'm a front pocket wallet person.
Wow, never met one of
interesting.
those
Bullshit.
in person.
Bullshit.
Who admitted it?
Let me see that wallet. Does it have
I'm
a
a
curve
friend.
on one end?
You met me. I'm a front
Yeah,
wallet guy.
so too.
I
I
never-
mean,
What?
Mike's fucking around. So front wallet pocket. Keys goes in that pocket. 20-sided die goes in that pocket. Recent addition. I've got one more thing going in that pocket. And so yes, it gets bulbous. So you're right. Like, what do people do about this?
You got to
Bulbous.
slow down. Yeah.
What do people do? How do you
You
solve
get
for
a
this?
fanny pack.
Flatteners.
Okay, hold on. Let's take this
A
one at a time.
patented-
Let's start with you, Mike. What's a flattener?
So flattener is like a. Do you remember how the slap bracelets were?
Definitely.
So it's made of that sort of thin stainless steel, and it just presents a smooth profile on your.
Or it could be like a
So my leg will be large.
a rubber coin wallet type thing. And you just squeeze it and you throw all your shit in there.
Like a metal girdle for my left leg.
It's a
Yes.
flattener.
Ugh.
Anyway, Dan, what was your idea?
No,
What was your
I just
shitty
said-
idea?
It wasn't a shitty idea. It's an idea that's been around for a long time. It's called the fucking fanny pack.
And is huge right now.
yeah, it is
Yeah,
coming
but
back.
it's huge to
It's
not be
coming back.
worn on the fanny. That's the
It's on the
problem.
side. It's in the
Yeah.
front.
It could
No,
be
people be
a
slinging it over the
patented
shoulder.
Jake
Yeah,
Paque.
if you
fanny
wear a
pack.
fanny pack over your fanny, then you're just asking for people to steal it.
Yeah.
Stuff out of it.
Stuff
not,
out of it.
You know.
You don't get security zippers?
I mean, so I'm desperately afraid.
Little tiny locks for the end of the zipper.
The luggage
These
locks.
locks, yeah,
with the
yeah.
3 combinations.
Just has one number
I can
that you have
never
to roll
remember
to.
the number.
Trying to get my D20. I think the number is
I've had-
347-470-8115.
You are the best, Jake.
Bring Jake back
We're
once
gonna
a
get
week.
so
Yeah.
many fucked up voicemails now.
Yeah.
It's gonna be great.
So go directly to any of us. Yeah.
It's gonna
please.
make
Yeah.
it's gonna make for several good episodes worth of fodder.
Yeah, please share anything. Share personal stories, fears,
All
things
of
you
it.
loathed or liked about the episode.
All
Favorite
of it.
video game?
For me,
Yeah.
uh,
You could start with system and then work your way.
Current or all
specific.
I'm
time?
just gonna go with. Well, good question. I'm just gonna go with the top of my
Yeah,
head.
do it.
I'm a huge fan of the Resident Evil franchise.
Oh.
Mm.
Resident Evil 4 is probably one of my favorite games. But
4.
building from there, the Dead Space games are excellent. I love them.
On which platform
I
are
played
you
it on
playing?
PS4.
Okay.
Ooh.
It's not dissimilar. They're like horror action games, but I dig that. And,
Suspense.
yeah.
Mm.
Was there one like Mr. X is chasing you and you're always trying to get away? And, oh, that's Resident Evil, right? There's like monsters. There's a virus.
And
Yeah,
we've
yeah, yeah.
and we've lost control.
No, sorry. I was with you. Yes, Virus and Monsters. Yes, Mr. X. I lost you at Mr. X.
That's a different game.
Mr. X. Back to Arrested
Mr.
Development.
X sounds like yeah.
We always had a friend that lived with Danny that we, I don't know if we've ever told the story, but maybe we shouldn't. But we had another friend who really wanted someone to watch him and a gal have sex. And so he decided to pick somebody out and call him Mr. X.
Yeah.
And
It
that was the
It
guy.
was my fucking roommate.
That was the guy that was going to watch
Who was going to
them.
be Mr. X.
Weird.
And it was very weird because we would all hang out sometimes, but
Did
you
your
wouldn't
buddy
tell him.
Did your
Yeah,
buddy
never.
meet people
You
on
would never
Craigslist?
tell him, but then like afterwards he'd be like, "Oh yeah, Mr. X, he could watch me and my girl have sex."
What? This
And I
is
was
a
like, wait
this
a
is a
second.
non sequitur. You have to start at the beginning again because I do not get.
Well, it's
We
basically
had a
like
friend who wanted someone to watch, right?
Right.
Mm-mm-mm.
And so he chose my roommate, but
Ah.
didn't tell him.
Yeah. So
Just told us that that's the guy he wanted to watch
Oh.
Who's never
him and his girl
actualized.
having sex.
or a girl,
Or
not
any
even
girl,
his
not
girl.
even
yeah.
his girl,
It-
any girl.
But then didn't tell him about he
No,
wanted
never
this?
told him
Oh, no.
about it.
never
But
came
it was
to
always
fruition.
behind the scenes, and you'd be like, "Oh, is Mr. X home?"
Oh
And
yeah,
like,
classic audience.
weird.
Yeah, man, I'd love to watch him watch me.
Interesting.
Yeah.
was very-
I mean,
Can,
we were.
can I dig in on this a little bit? Like, what
Or maybe,
qualities did that person have that made
Beady penetrating eyes.
I don't
him a
know.
great Mr. X?
I don't know.
He just had a calming vibe. I mean, so you wouldn't like,
No,
I have a
explain,
question.
Jeremy. No, why did you need a calming vibe?
I have a
Well,
question.
you know,
Who
it's like-
watches The Watchmen?
some people think about
Yeah,
baseball.
Who watches The Watchmen?
Other people, they might need a outside, help to just like
I
get in
think-
the zone.
I
you
think
know what
Mr. X is the guy who kidnaps your girlfriend in Kung Fu.
I mean? Ooh,
You remember the Nintendo game Kung Fu where you just have to like kick your way this way and then
Yep.
punch your way back that way?
yeah. That's
Think-
most of those video games of that era. It's just either left or right. And you can't go left.
I believe
too
they're
far.
called platformers.
Platformers. Okay. Okay.
Not side scrollers.
No.
Don't confuse it. It's a platformer.
What's your favorite video
Sides.
game?
It was a side scroller. You're
Mike?
right. Oh gosh.
You're still on the PS 360, but
Oh, that's tough.
PS360.
But,
yeah,
Just for the
for
record, I don't think it's a thing.
the
Oh, it
the
is.
only games
Mike
for
has
It's
it.
a
PS,
combination.
my-
He's the only one that has it.
my favorite games for PS360 would probably be Katamari Damacy.
Oh wow, that's a
yeah,
deep
I
cut.
love all the Katamari games. They're so much fun.
It's a deep cut.
It was the last one that I did any dedication to. Besides, I still haven't fucked with Shadow of the Colossus, the remake, enough, which is like this crazy giant killing game. And then I got the prequel, which is called Echo.
I'm gonna say Ninja Gaiden. Ninja Gaiden is my all-time
Number one.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Number one.
all time, and I have it in this box right here somewhere. This is all of my consoles that I'm gonna build what looks like a arcade system,
Emulator.
and up top is gonna be the screen like a regular arcade, and then down below is gonna be shelves with all these consoles on it.
Which button do you press
you
to
just-
call your mother to pick you
Exactly.
up to bring
push
you
a
home?
button, and you play PS1. You push a button, you
Fudge,
play
yeah.
Nintendo. You push a button, yeah.
Dude, my buddy Kurt, Ninja Gaiden. I once, asked him a question like, if you thought you could Olympic medal at anything in the world, anything, what do you
Right.
think it would be? He picked
Is it
Ninja
Ninja
Gaidening. Ninja Gaidening, and especially I think it was the first one.
Okay.
He was one of the folks that like played that with such intensity and frequency that like he could get through the whole thing without getting hit or close to it or like
Yeah,
not losing a
that's
life.
I have
Yeah.
watched
So
his
you and
YouTube
he would-
video.
Yeah. You and he would. There's synergy there, man.
But then, like modern games, I play the shit out of like basketball games and football games, and like Madden's always going to be like one of my favorite video
your
games
2Ks,
of
your
all
NBA
time.
2Ks and things like that.
I used to be a 2K guy, now I'm a live guy.
Oh,
Yeah, which I guess they don't
Sick.
make it this year.
Allegiance.
But yeah, it's super. I think it's better. Than
Yeah,
How about you,
2K.
Danny? Space Invaders?
Guys, what are these video games?
You're gonna
talking
say
about?
GTA 5?
No,
That's my
I'm not
favorite.
gonna
hey,
say
actually, I mean
GTA
that's
5.
mobile.
That's up there.
Mobile is still crazy popular. It's like one of the most popular.
Has anybody
GTA
played
5?
the new?
Think
Has
so.
anybody's ever played the new DLC?
I tried. I didn't see you on there.
What?
Well, I saw you saying things in a room
Fuck you,
with your
man.
family.
Well,
I went
my
into the house, but I couldn't play any
PS360
missions or
won't download
anything.
that
Fuck
stuff.
you, man. No, the casino heist.
I don't know.
I'm
There's a lot of
involved.
aggression here right
I'm
now. I can't tell
involved.
if
Yeah.
people are fighting.
Unresolved.
Danny was a voice in GTA 5. You
That rings a bell.
didn't know
That's
if you
true.
were, yeah.
I was a
So
little shit kid.
Oh,
I
he was Jimmy.
Michael's son.
It was
Jimmy.
typecasting.
Fantastic. Yeah, at Jeepers.
It was
son
How
of
does it feel to
Michael.
get painted into that corner?
It was great.
Oh.
Well, you know what? The
Mocap.
thing is, like, growing up playing video games and then being in one is pretty rad to like see how, it
Absolutely.
all works and stuff.
Yeah.
You seeming to be someone who enjoys anime and enjoys
Gaming.
No, just enjoy.
Are you
Like,
calling
like
me a nerd, Danny?
no, what I'm saying is
Are you
that
calling me a fucking nerd?
you're in the business of something that you enjoy and how that affects the way you work. Like it's fun.
Yeah, no doubt. I
It's
mean,
really great to be involved in something that's like
Like a
that you actually
pyromaniac
care about
in special
you know?
effects.
Yeah, I mean,
Sure,
seriously,
maybe a
no,
little
I
bit,
mean,
not
that's
sure.
That's a good-
That's
yeah.
a good analogy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I do think about it. I'm a person who, oh gosh, this is gonna sound very cliche, but I'm a person who practices.
doing the epilogue music.
Okay, just let him speak.
Do it.
I'm a person who practices a good amount of gratitude, and I don't for a second take for granted the fact that like I get to do the stuff that like I definitely dreamt about. You know,
Yeah.
the fact that I get to be the characters that I,
It's amazing.
grow up like consuming and things like that.
Yeah.
Style wise is something that is not lost on me. And when it comes to video game stuff, I actually had a fun conversation. A buddy of mine got a Switch over the holidays, and he was like talking about games, and I was like, you know what? Here's a bunch of awesome games you got to get. And I was like, you also have to get Modern Combat 5 because I'm the protagonist in that, and you can just run me out and kill me. Like,
Wait, hear me die.
you can literally run me out and like purposefully die and get me shot and hear me scream. Like how?
Wait,
How
modern
therapeutic.
Warfare?
Modern Combat 5.
If
It's,
you're
it's
mad-
a
Modern-
Game Loft version.
If you're
So-
mad at
Modern
your
Combat
friends.
5. Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
like how therapeutic for somebody like finally
I'm upset with you.
I can
I'm
queue
killing
up
you.
Jake and have
And-
him get
yeah.
murdered, and I
Oh.
can hear him.
How
I can.
about
I have
you.
I have the same thing. It's very hard to kill me in GTA 5, but you can do it.
Oh wow!
And I have people that have been like, it took me 37 hours to
Wow.
figure it out, but I finally blew your fucking ass up.
Do people send you like pictures or like videos
Yes,
or anything? Oh,
yes,
it's so
yes.
good.
Yeah, we were so psyched when we first ran him over in a car, like
Literally
in
ran him
GTA 5.
over.
Brendan and I, yeah,
It's very nice to know that your friends care about you that much that they spend that kind of time to just try to kill you virtually.
I think what flatters them is that they had anticipated that his friends would attack Danny and wrote dialoge for it.
Yeah.
Oh my
Because
God.
because he
That's so
said
good.
because he says stop, cut it out, stop trying to
Ow.
stop, quit shooting me.
Quit it, Dad! ow, that hurts.
That type of stuff.
It gave me goosebumps seeing the joy in people's faces here talking about being able to kill Danny in a video game.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
it
yeah,
legitimately
yeah.
warmed my heart. Yeah.
That's true. People do
As it
come up
should,
and
yeah.
share.
Son of a
They share
bitch.
their stories, which the only thing that we all have in common is this amazing sense of inner peace once we're able to kill Danny in a video game.
Hey,
It's
you
That's
know
what we're
what?
going to do as soon as we're
And
done
if I
here.
can give,
I'm gonna-
and if I can give that to people, then fucking A.
And it's
Exactly.
not easy
Mission
in GTA
accomplished,
5
bro.
because you're not supposed to die in GTA 5.
No,
No, you
because
have to
I'm
get
not-
him
it's
to
not like-
drink
I'm
poison.
A
It's
I'm a
not
side
easy.
Piece.
Yeah.
I'm a side piece.
Yeah.
I'm not a playable.
No way. You're
I've
my
always-
main squeeze.
We've always
you're not-
considered you our
no
main
side
squeeze.
chicken there, no
Yeah,
side chicken.
yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah.
I feel like it's extended some of my friendships, honestly. Their ability to do that. You know what I mean? Like to be able to go out there and like
It's a
have me
pressure valve.
executed.
It's a pressure valve, bro.
Exactly.
Like if I was friends with those, rest in peace, gang members that I was able to brick in the face on the Warriors game so many years ago.
I have no idea where you're going.
Me neither.
I know.
It's terrifying.
You've
It's
been
scary
a
in
great
there.
fucking guest, Jake Pate.
Oh,
You've been really awesome.
I appreciate that. Thank you. I will
Yeah.
believe you, even though all of my internal fears.
Roll a D1
Are
for
still
believe.
going?
Roll a
No,
D1 for
come
roll,
on.
roll a die for make a save for believability.
All right. That is no joke. That is a 20. That is a
Woo! Natural
believability.
20.
That is a
Believability.
20 on
Thank
believability.
you.
That is crazy.
Damn.
You know
Hey,
why?
you know what?
I didn't blink.
Yeah, throughout the whole show.
It works.
I promise you, Mike did not blink during the whole show.
It works.
God, that's amazing.
Jake, we are coming to an end here. You must have some plugs, some sort of. So what are you working on
Oh, yeah, sure.
these days?
Thanks. I appreciate that. I mean, for anybody that ever wants to get a hold of me, like I said, the best way to ping me is over Twitter at Jake Pake on Twitter at JAKEPAQUE.
PAQUE.
Not
Pax
Pack.
got it. Not Pack.
Yeah.
Not Jack Pack. Yeah, Jake Pake. Just Jake Pake is
Jake
good.
Pake.
Jackpack.
Jackpack sounds like where you would get your garbage pail kids.
Jackpack also sounds like a bunch of dudes who like to dumpster dive for porn.
Whoa! Wow! I should say, in your defense,
Jack Pack. That's
in your
amazing.
defense, Jeremy,
That is amazing.
I have had people on shows like
Jackpack me. Try to
doing-
jackpack
they tried to
me.
jackpack me in the back.
Oh.
No, they people who like did like they're doing like a digital show or something like that, like reviewing something I worked on. Definitely call me Jackpack. So
Jackpack, yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
but so it's
That could be your badass alter ego
Hi,
who
we're
does all
the
the stuff you don't
Jackpack.
know.
Yeah.
The Jackpack was me and my two buddies in 7th grade going behind Krausers to get,
Oh, looking in the dumpster for
cigarettes
porno.
to get
Porno.
porno that was like a month old. They're like, oh well, no one's bought them. We got a whole new month of issues. They throw
Time
them in the bag.
to throw them out with the shrink
we go
wrap still
dumpster
on
dive in
them.
the back and be like, yes.
It's Bloodhound Gang with a bunch of young masturbators.
Oh, yeah.
That's what it is. It's exactly what it is.
It can be
the
my
Jack
new,
Pack.
my new pseudonym for when I do dirty audiobooks. I can do
Absolutely.
Jackpack. Yeah.
My production
Yeah.
team will be here the entire Jackpack.
Yeah, I'll get that email set up really quick.
Tonight on Skinamax, we have the Jackpack reviewing
6 till 9.
2 Nights in Venice.
Maybe that's the new podcast we'll start here in
Oh.
the studio. Yeah, the Jackpack.
We review found porn.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be amazing. That would be incredible.
Well, we're all local guys, so
That's
let's,
right.
let's
That's
start
right.
it.
Let's start a porn podcast.
There's tons of bodegas and garbage cans.
Yeah, I mean, I've found when I was in college a whole bag of grocery bag
This
full
is
of gay
an
porn, and I would
entirely
take
different
the VHS
podcast.
tapes to every party, and I would put them in the VCR and leave the party.
Holy cow.
And so that you know what I mean. So every party, we would just get rid of one of those tapes. But it's a great party favor. Great
Is
thing
this
to
a
do.
good time for me to plug the rest of my children's cartoon shows that I'm on?
Thanks,
Wait,
Jeremy.
can we just finish up on the Jackpack first, and then we'll go right into
Or
that.
if you have more masturbatory pornography stuff, we could do that before I plug the children's
All right,
shows I work on.
moratorium.
Well, before you know what? Before we made it
everybody, let's
into,
just take
before
a break.
I'm pretty sure that you have to age into the Jackpack from the Winx Twinks.
I'd like to
If
just
you're not-
Stop it!
if you're-
I'm gonna lose everything.
I just like to tell
Everything I've
everybody
worked for.
that we're part of the last podcast network.
And you should
So
blame
you
them
should
for
definitely-
everything that you hear tonight, not Jake.
No,
They've got a legal
please,
team. They've got a full legal team.
Yeah.
Better budget.
please finish your plug.
Jake,
Sorry
Jake,
about that.
please tell us all the cool kitty stuff you're doing.
Jeez.
What?
Mike can't even stop himself. To prevent a direct intersection, you can check out my IMDb to figure out what I work on. Jake Pake IMDb has got a bunch of cool stuff on there. I am on some shows for young audiences that are exciting.
If you
Cool. There's not a person under 27 that listens to our podcast, so you're good.
They might leave it on at daycare.
yeah.
It's true.
Or their kids might, pick up on it. You never know. Our peak audience is 34, right? That's our 35. Yeah, that's the 90s Nickelodeon kids. So they probably have kids by now. So we're good.
That's true.
We're all good.
Sometimes people listen to this podcast in the car, and then the kids are like, "Daddy, what's a jack pack?"
Yeah.
And he's like, "Well, actually, I'll
Never mind. We're going through the drive-through now.
Yeah, shut your mouth and eat that Big Mac.
But
You need anything from the dumpster, kid?
Yeah. Like,
Oh, Lord. Best guest ever.
Yes.
Shucks.
Please come back, Jake. You can find this guy at D Tamborelli on the Twitters, at Danny Tamborelli on Instas, at Michael C. Morona on the Twits. I'm at Remy Balin on the Twits, at Jeremy Balin on the Instagram. We're part of the Last Podcast Network. Check them out, lastpodcastnetwork.com. We also have a Patreon, patreon.com/Danny and Mike, where you can watch videos of this episode right here. You can see the die.
With the end spelled out.
The
You can-
20-sided
The natural 20,
die.
natural
We have,
20.
and we have some live shows coming up in April with Mike and I.
Prove it.
And
That's
we
right.
have some shows coming up in California. So go to nostalgiapersonified.com to check them all out.
It's an April Fool's show with Pete and Pete edition. You're going to love it. Philadelphia, 4142 is Hard Rock Cafe in Boston.
Bangarang.
Also, next week we start California tour with Lori Beth Denberg. Come see us, nostalgiapersonified.com. Jake, for the love of God, this was so much fun. Come
Yeah,
back.
thank you, buddy.
Anytime, friends. Thank you so much. This was
Thanks,
awesome.
Jake Pick.
Jake Pick.
Bye.
Bye. The Adventures of Danny and Mike stars Danny Tamborelli and Michael C. Morona. The show is produced by me, Jeremy Balin. This podcast is part of the Last Podcast Network, which can be found at lastpodcastnetwork.com. Make sure to check that out for a ton of great shows. For more information on the guys, visit our website at dannyandmike.com. Also look us up on Twitter at Danny and Mike with the N spelled out, and on Facebook at facebook.com/The Adventures of Danny and Mike. Thanks for listening.
This show is made possible by listeners like you. Thanks to our ad sponsors, you can support our shows by supporting them. For more shows like the one you just listened to, go to lastpodcastnetwork.com.